Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to our first major event for August, first live demo of August. We're very excited to have you all with us today. My name is Ian. I am the content marketing manager at Resolve, and I will be your moderator for this session. Today, I'm joined by Derek Pascarella, our global head of sales engineering and the mad scientist behind today's demo. So today we are going to cover how our intelligent AI agent RITA helps end users solve their problems, and kind of expanding on RITA's capabilities, showing how a NOC technician can use it to troubleshoot and resolve a network device alert. Here's a little bit of info about Resolve for those of you who are not quite as familiar. We've been working on IT automation for over a decade, and what that means is that we know a thing or two. Our platform and our philosophy have evolved to provide what teams need in order to make a difference within IT and their entire organization. We're also the only vendor in both Gartner's System Orchestration and Automation Platform Magic Quadrant and the market guides for both network automation and infrastructure automation. These and many other things are why big names from around the globe rely on Resolve Automation every day. So before we get to the demo, let's just take a moment to look at where we've been with IT and how certain things have been done since as far back as most of us can probably remember. So for a long time, the IT paradigm has been built around getting tickets out as quickly as possible. But the thing is, tickets are not in and of themselves a resolution. They're a record. And whether it's overload, siloed operations and teams, fatigue from trying to contain and react to a bunch of alerts, reactive workflows, and just not having the time to put together a higher level vision or strategy, it's a paradigm where teams put in a ton of effort, but they don't necessarily achieve nearly as much success as that effort warrants. But what if we told you that there's a completely different and much better paradigm? In fact, what if we told you that you could have 0 tickets? We estimate that at least 60 to 80% of tickets are repeatable workflows that can be automated. Like, think about how much bandwidth can be given back to your teams and what they can accomplish with that. So let's take a step further with that and kind of drill down to a closer look at what that means. What it means is that automation and AI, they're not just about to transform IT, they're already doing so. Today, a lot of organizations are dealing with reactive systems that rely on humans to respond to alerts and tickets. But like I said, that eats up a lot of bandwidth and means that they're being mostly or purely reactive. However, by 2028, 90% of organizations will implement structured infrastructure automation, which should result in more bandwidth and more opportunity to do higher level strategic work. By 2029, Agentic AI will autonomously resolve 80% of customer service issues, allowing for more proactivity. And now let's take an even closer look at what that 80% figure means. Derek, could you please break down what this slide is kind of telling us and how that relates to this goal?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we see here is really the 2 avenues by which the Resolve Automation Suite can solve problems, either on the back end or front of house. So for example, if we focus on the left side, machine alerts, right? Things generated from monitoring tools, observability tools, things of that nature. Traditionally, it's been, hey, alert generated, maybe ticket automatically created, maybe human beings deployed to solve the problem, or some type of little script to do some degree of initial diagnostics, triage, automation, what have you. But with the holistic solution from Resolve, what we're looking at is very, very sophisticated event correlation, deduplication, really something we like to call alert compression, right? Turning all of that noise into high fidelity alerts, and then bringing that into the Resolve platform when there's something truly actionable. So our very robust automation platform can get to work actually solving the problem, right? And that frees up, of course, like Ian, you described, tons of time for people to focus on things that actually require, our brains.
Yeah.
that machines aren't good at yet, but maybe if we all saw Terminator, one day might be.
Terminator is here to save us from reactive firefighting. Is that what we're saying?
Oh man, is this being recorded? No, I'm kidding. Right. So on the right side, we're looking at the other end of it, and this is what we talk about with RITA, the IT agent, right?
Right.
For end users, not really back of the house stuff. End user requests. Hey, I need access to this system, or hey, I can't log into this account, or hey, my laptop's running slowly, whatever the case might be.
Yeah.
And then letting Resolve's automation platform actually function as the back end, fulfilling those requests, helping with the troubleshooting, all of that stuff. And that's the long and short, Ian, of what we're seeing on this slide here.
Well, thank you very much for breaking that down. This is why you're here. That's helpful. I looked at this and I was like, there's a lot here, but thank you for very succinctly kind of summing that up for everyone.
Of course.
All right, now it's time to get to our actual demo. So Derek, I'm going to pass this off to you and you can do the honors.
Wonderful. Let's do it. Let's do it. So, up on my screen here, I've got the Resolve Actions platform logged in behind me. This is the live dashboard. This is where we can see certain high-level KPIs, metrics, as well as a live running snapshot, everything the system's doing in real time. Right,
Mhm.
great place to come in and see what workflows are executing, what's running. And then, of course, quite obviously, in the foreground is my Teams client. And this is me actually chatting in with RITA, right? Our IT agent here who's designed to help end users with all types of IT related problems. Later, we're going to look at the future of RITA for something we like to call Technician Assist. But for right now, let's take a quick look at some of these end user help desk type use cases. So, for example, very common ticket that I'm sure many of us in the service desk space have seen time and time again: access requests, right? Sometimes it's for things like a SharePoint site or access to a shared network drive. Really doesn't matter what it is. With Resolve and RITA, all of that stuff is totally automatable. And we can even do human approval steps if necessary, or automatically approve these types of accounts if they're on, let's call it a whitelist, right? So I can chat in with the bot here to say something like, I need access to a SharePoint site. Now, using NLU, NLP, the bot can understand exactly what I'm after and try to understand, hey, do we have an automated workflow that can actually respond to this type of request? And in this case, yes, we see that we do. Please enter the full name of the SharePoint site. So how about revenue team? Because everybody loves sales. So
Oh,
here,
yeah.
so right now we can actually see that Rita's letting us know we're looking to see if this is going to require outside approval or if it can just grant the access automatically. And it looks like revenue team was on the list of, hey, just go ahead and provide the access. So it has gone ahead and done so for me. It lets me know I can visit the link to see if everything is working as I expect it. And it is. The page is loading. We are in the money, quite literally.
Nice.
And now I can come back to Rita and say, yep, I'm in. And then, of course, we can carry on our conversation from here, right? So, Ian, what we're looking at in this example is just one of those things that doesn't need to be a ticket. This type of thing
Yeah.
should be deflected, right? Time and time
Mhm.
again. Just you could log it to a ticket, record it, right? Like you said earlier, it's a record, it's not a resolution. But what we're doing here
Yeah.
is full end-to-end fulfillment so that no human being has to touch it. Unless, of course, there was that human approval required, in which case we fully got your back there as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's take a look at something else here with another common request, right? People, Monday morning or whatever the case may be, some inopportune time always. Hey, my laptop isn't running, my laptop's running slowly, or something's not working quite right, right? So let's try a request like that. My laptop is running slowly. I don't know why I care so much to correct my typos when I'm talking to AI. Rita will understand me no matter what, but it's a sense of pride, and I don't know. I can't shake it.
I think you're trying to just appease the tech gods into not sending you laptop alerts at 4 a.m. I think that's what's happening here, but I can't blame you for that. That's a smart move. So
I'm getting deep into my subconscious. My kind of
indeed.
guy. So we see here that Rita did a quick performance scan on our actual, our device, our laptop in this case. So through our integrations with things like, Intune, Nextthing, Tanium, those type of endpoint management tools, we can directly communicate with end user devices to perform these different scans and try to get at the root of what the issue might be. So let's take a look at what Rita found. CPU utilization is pretty much normal. Memory is exceedingly high. And it looks like a YouTube tab in Chrome is the culprit here. Network is looking good, and I restarted 2 days ago, so according to our predefined policies, I'm probably not in desperate need of a reboot.
Hmm.
So it's letting me know it can go ahead and fix the issue by closing the problematic browser tab. Yeah, go ahead, I'll tell it. So in cases like this, using those same integrations into those, endpoint management tools, we can do things like that, right? Directly kill a browser tab and see if that solved the issue. So it's letting us know it did it, closed out that high memory browser tab, flushed almost 2 gigs of inactive memory for us, and now usage is down to about 58%. And of course, because it's just trying to make me a better person every day, it is saying I can give me some tips for the future to avoid this. So if my YouTube binging habit, I guess, is finally catching up to me. So
Yeah, here's a tip, like 44% usage. Maybe keep an eye out for that and try to break it down.
yeah, yeah. So it lets me know there's a few things I can do. Right? This is stuff that we put in here for demonstration purposes, but the point is, if you've got canned knowledge and the types of suggestions that you'd like end users to know about in cases where, hey, you can actually prevent this issue, all that stuff can be integrated here. And we can actually use AI, of course, to generate these types of suggestions on the fly. It doesn't have to be hard
Yeah.
coded at all. So we're going to look at one more use case demonstration, Ian, and this is pretty cool. Um, Wait a minute, what is this? An unread message from Ian. This guy, and I'm in the middle of Ian. I'm in the middle of a live webinar, and this is what I get. All right,
Yeah, I can never resist the urge to pester you with messages, even in the middle of a live demo. Don't think I won't do it.
yeah, I can see that.
Falling into my trap.
Thank you very much. But that's okay because I have a feeling our girl Rita can get us out of another sticky situation, even if it's one created by co-host Ian. So Ian wants to know what's going on with that catalyst switch. Traffic is crazy right now. Well, Ian, since I'll do a let me Google that for you, let me ask Rita for you. How about that? Is there a ticket out there for a high traffic volume on a switch? Again, my grammar, I must be perfect. I want the bots to know I'm just like them. Oh my gosh, I forgot to go through. I'm sorry. I broke my loop here. That's all right. We're going to start again. I gave
Yeah.
I was trying to ask a question to it when it was trying to get my feedback to let me know how well it helped me. That's okay. We're going to start over. I'll go back to the beginning. Is there a ticket out there for high traffic volume on a switch? So what we did see there, though, because I guess I won't get to it when we wrap up, is that at the end of all of these conversations, we're going to capture user feedback, right? And those are the
Right.
types of metrics that we can actually use as admins and operators to say, okay, people are actually satisfied with how these experiences are going, or maybe you guys need to tweak the way this one's working. So we always want to capture that at the end. Anyway, back to Rita, it actually did find a ticket. It was one that was auto-generated by one of the monitoring tools and it
Ah,
and it actually matches the description having to do with that traffic volume. So it actually gives us all the details from the ticket, a direct link to the ticket too. I won't open it here. But our configuration item right there's the host. It's a Cisco Catalyst. Unexpected traffic on this VLAN. Does this look right? So I'm going to say, yeah, that's got to be the one. And from here, it's actually going to get to work investigating it, right? So we saw how Rita can be used for those common end user requests, but what about back of the house, right? The knock operators, the IT ops folks, using the power of Rita to help with guided resolution and troubleshooting. So let's dive in further here. It looks like it actually found. Let's scroll back up here. It's so fast I didn't even give a chance to give an explanation. But it looks like it actually found a whole bunch of tickets in the past for a very similar issue and it was solved, right? So now what RITA is going to be doing is actually analyzing things like the close notes and the work notes of those tickets to try to figure out, hey, if it worked 20 times in the past or 5 times or however many times, there's a good chance those steps will work again.
Yep. And analyzing that past context is sometimes crucial to coming up with a speedy resolution for it right now, the problem right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And if you think about the amount of time it would take for a human being to go search through their ITSM, did we ever have this type of alert before? What was it like? What happened? How did it get fixed? Okay, let me analyze these notes, those notes. Just let it happen at the speed of compute and let advanced AI like RITA do all that for you, which is what we saw. So it gives
Exactly.
us links to some of those tickets, right? And it says these are the things that are going to solve it for you. And it lets me know there's actually a command I can run to see if each port is configured with the correct VLAN. And it looks like in the past, this particular port was erroneously assigned, to VLAN 20, not right per our policies. And it lets us know we can reconfigure that, and it gives us the command for that. And it lets us know that, of course, afterwards we should be monitoring it to confirm that the changes worked. And it says down at the bottom that the initial diagnostics command it believes is a safe read-only command, and it can actually execute it for me automatically. So this is really cool, right? It's not just informational. Hey, here's the things you should go do. Now
Mm-hmm.
open up a terminal, SSH in, and run some commands. So I'm going to
Yeah.
say to it here, um, yeah, run it. Let's do it, RITA. So this show command is actually in the background, right? Connecting to that device, that switch, running this command, getting the output, and displaying it for me right here. And we can see it. And it says, looks like that incorrect VLAN assignment of 20 is at play. And it lets me know it can reassign it for me. And it also lets me know that it found a self-service page inside of Resolve that can actually do this as well. So this is pretty cool. You think
Yeah.
about the ability to expose these front-end self-service forms inside of the Resolve platform.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes people go to them, when they have a very specific need and they know there's a form there. But RITA could also identify that one of those exists and provide a link. So just as an example, if I were to open this up, right, I could be presented with the VLAN assignment self-service form. I'm not going to do this, of course, because we want to see our fancy chatbot do it for us. So I'm going to say, go ahead and do it, Rita. So now, just to be extra safe, and we put this in for this example because we really want to illustrate, right? Some people at this stage might be feeling a little hesitancy on letting an AI agent using a resolve workflow, connect to a device, run a series of commands that are going to do something like a VLAN reassignment. But here we can see, please, Derek, confirm. This is the box, or excuse me, this is the switch I'm going to connect to. These are the commands I'm going to run. If it's all good, let me know. And looking at this here, I can see it's perfect. I'm going to say do it. So now at this stage, it's going to actually affect change, right? It's actually going to carry out everything that it figured out needed to be done here. And it's done. Perfect. Now, how about
Awesome.
we gracefully end the feedback loop here? We'll give it that great rating that I skipped doing before when I caught myself up because, right, Ian, we talked about Terminator. We want to be in the good graces. We want to give them good
Yes, we do.
ratings. Good ratings.
Praise the robot.
Yes.
Well,
Now, for a little bit of extra before we proceed, ROI dashboard, something I want to make sure we show. This is a place where inside of Resolve you can actually attribute time and cost savings to these individual automated workflows. And then you have this incredible dashboard that you can customize, export to spreadsheet, PDF, where you can actually in real time see how much these automated workflows are saving for you. So, Ian, when you think about, people adopting new technologies, bringing on new
mhm.
vendors and wondering, where's the value really, right? Something like this is just the perfect CEO dashboard for those
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah, it can be a lot to kind of try to parse through, especially when you're in the middle of that process. But having it all in one succinct place to look at makes a huge difference. It contributes further to our emphasis on efficiency.
Absolutely, absolutely. And all that data is live, by the way. So if you decide next Tuesday, You know what? Actually, we figured out it's costing us 25% more to do that one thing manually than we thought. You make that change, boom, all that real-time ROI data is updated right there in front of your eyes. So it's living and breathing. Now, last thing before we switch back over to my lovely co-host Ian here is I just wanted to show a little bit of the workflow designer, right? So behind all of the really awesome AI chatbot stuff, when there is a case for actually carrying out automated change, fulfilling a request, going through troubleshooting, things like that, workflows like the one we see here are responsible. And all of these little individual Lego bricks, right? These things we call activities come from this huge library. There are thousands upon thousands of them, and that's not an exaggeration. And all it takes to configure these is entering some basic input fields, right? And that goes for applications across IT. It's all about design, right? It's not about development. And it's easy to build because of the visual nature, the drag and drop workflow designer, the tons of pre-built integrations, and also because Resolve will also do it for you, right? So there's lots of options. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself there, Ian. I just wanted to give a little sneak preview of the the workflow designer view. But we'll switch back over to you, my friend.
Sounds good. Let's do it. Second here. Well, Derek, thank you for walking us through that. You and Rita are truly unflappable. I tried to throw you with my team's request, and we tried to throw all sorts of stuff at Rita, but it came back and did everything that we needed it to do with full context and execution. It's really, really cool stuff. All right, now it's time to get to the Q&A. We have a couple of questions. Let's see if I can throw Derek this time. First question here. So if an issue like a slow PC escalates to a human technician, how does RITA support that technician's troubleshooting process in order to resolve the issue faster?
Oh, that's an awesome question, especially because it highlights a really key feature of RITA that I didn't touch on. We actually have this feature called Agent Handover. So imagine a scenario like the one we were going through here, and you reach a point where the automation just isn't solving it. It's too niche of a problem. It's too fringe, whatever it is, right? It hasn't been accounted for, is what I mean to say. At any
Yeah.
point, you can actually hand over to a live human agent. Let's say, for example, inside of ServiceNow, they can actually pick up the conversation, and the end user will see it in their chat client, whether they're using Teams to use Rita or Slack or
Mhm.
a web client, and they'll see that live interaction with the real time, human being agent. And then to address the second part of the question about how does Resolve's automation further supplement or augment what the actual help desk technician would be doing, all of the same automation that we saw today, things like self-service pages or things like, automation triggered from the chatbot. Those agents themselves could use that type of automation as well, right? Think about the Cisco Catalyst switch, right, and the VLAN misassignment issue, right? That's an example
Absolutely.
of right, it's an example of one of those technicians actually going there for help. Like, hey, I'm the helper, but it turns out I need help, right? So
Yeah.
that's where we fit in.
Yeah, sometimes the helpers need help too. All right. You answered that question very well. Beginner's luck, whatever, it's fine. Let's get to the second question from the audience. How quickly does Rita learn and adapt to a unique environment? Ooh, this is a good one. And also, can we fine tune its decision making process to ensure accuracy?
Yes. Yes to everything. So actually I'll address the second part of the question first because
Okay.
it's opposite day. Why not? Um, in terms of can we fine tune, can we tweak? Like, yes, times 1,000. Everything, while it is AI, right? While it is NLU, NLP, large language models, all of that, while that is obviously at play here, it's not going to be doing anything that you're not telling it to do, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
You have to allow it to travel down certain paths, right? You have to be the one to basically give it authorization to try to solve people's problems. And if there's any decision points along the way, right? Let's say, for example, if a self-guided troubleshooting scenario reaches this point and there's not a resolution, it's offer them the ability to transfer to an agent, but also maybe offer them the ability to try a second troubleshooting
Yeah,
type of,
that makes
right.
sense.
All of those types of things. The first part of the question about, getting smarter and learning. So one
Yes.
of the cool things is that it's a situation where all of those, let's call them happy paths, the success paths. Every time something is successfully fixed for a user, right, the platform starts to learn that, you know what, instead of walking them through five things next time, maybe we'll just do three. Because it turns out 90% of the time it's always the three. And then we can always throw in the other two later if it doesn't work. Right. So
Everyone likes to start with the Cliff Notes version, right? If they can.
yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Even Rita's on the Cliff Notes game. So there's things like that, and then there's also other forms of intelligence where if your organization, for example, has its own jargon that could fill a small dictionary, right?
Hmm.
Rita can be, let's say, taught, for example, all the unique verbiage and phrasing and things that only your personnel would be saying that wouldn't make any sense, for example, to me and Ian.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
That context is certainly important. So,
yeah.
okay. I think that's all we've got on the question side. So now it's time to talk some next steps. We have talked you through how RITA operates in these contexts, and we're wondering, ready to see it in your own environment. If you want to talk to us about what Resolve's agentic automation can do for you, please reach out to us via the link you're seeing on your screen. We would be very excited to talk with you and really discuss more, kind of like Derek said, how not only how RITA functions, but how it can work within your specific IT environment. And if you want to revisit this recording or share it with a friend who was not able to make the demo, we're going to have a recording going out via email after this event concludes. So please keep an eye out for that. And please keep an eye out for more events and things coming down the pipe. We really appreciate y'all joining us this morning. Thank you for coming, and please be well in the meantime. We'll see you again soon.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.